Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it either. Say hi, and then you.
Uh,
All right, skedaddle. Let me get this open for you.
excuse me, sorry.
Well,
No, I'm
I
very
hope
sorry. Go ahead.
I hope that people can get on tonight. The link that I had actually said invalid, so yeah, that's the grandbaby. It is my sweet grandbaby, Revy, and she has worn me out today. She said, "Did y'all hear her?" Excuse me? Oh, you have worn me out today. Oh, okay. Oh, I love it. Nikki, you must have a couple. You know how it is. Well, we are glad to have everyone in tonight. I do see a few new faces. And for those of you who are new this week, just to give you a quick rundown, this is the Revolt Community Q&A. We do every Thursday. It is free for everyone to hop in here. It is for active and even seasoned investors who are already actively operating co-living homes or those looking to acquire their first. We kind of made this just from our own um, need. You know, when we were just learning, we wish we would have had somewhere where we could hop on and just ask whatever question was stopping us in our business at that point and get an answer in real time. So we wanted to do this for you guys every Thursday. Bring your problems, whatever's stopping you in your business, and Jay-Z, myself, and Chris can help you work through whatever that is. Hopefully, we can get you settled before the end of the Zoom. So welcome. Those of you who are here faithfully every week, I hope you brought your questions. Those of you who are new, I hope that you have some questions for us tonight. Looking to see. Oh, Benita, she is 3. She is 3. She'll be 4 this year. So she's full of energy and, like I said, wears me out. Yeah, I gotta love them. So welcome, everybody. I hope everyone's having a productive week. I know it has been an absolute crazy week for us. It's that time of year. We've got everything going on. You're closing out things from 2025, doing taxes, all the things. So it's been very productive for us. If anyone wants, I don't know if anybody here already has questions. We can go ahead and open it up. If you guys have a question, we can hop right in. If not, I'm sure Jay-Z, myself, and Chris can kind of share some of the things that we're going through this week. Might be helpful. Trying to slide over to the chat. Any hands up? And if there's anybody here who's new and you'd like to take a second just to introduce yourself and let us know how you got here and what you hope to accomplish or how we can help you, I'm happy to unmute you there. Okay, we've got
Jesse,
Jesse
come on down, my
Steinfort.
man.
I saw him.
You're
Hello.
unmuted now.
Can you guys hear me? All right.
Yes.
Yes,
Well,
yes. How are you?
anxious, I'm good. Excited to join the group and see what we can learn from each other. I do sober living. I have one house I've operated for as a men's sober home for the last going on 5 years. Been renting to
Nice.
people in recovery for the last just over 6 years. And I'm definitely at the point where I've been I guess when I had been renting a couple spare rooms out to people in recovery, and I'm like, I've helped a few. I want to help more. Let's not sell the house. I know what I'm doing, and found myself not knowing a whole lot very quickly. And the creativity of people in recovery is amazing.
Yes.
And so I've been stuck in a cycle. Well, I want to learn the business, and then I think I know learn the business, and then I want to improve the business. But I've been
Hmm.
just stuck on one house. So now I want to grow and open up multiple homes.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
management has been my um, big problem over the last year. I had a great manager for almost 14 months, and when he moved on, I've been through seven managers in the last year, and it's just been currently my biggest struggle is finding people that want to be here, and seems like live-in managers burn out real fast.
Yeah, they
But
do. Absolutely. Well, if you don't mind, I'd love to hear a little bit about, what that looks like for you right now. So how many rooms are you renting?
I have a 5-2 house. We have
Okay.
10 guys, one three-man room, three two-man room, and then my head of house. So
Okay.
I tried that in the beginning, but I wanted a little bit more attention. I'm at,
Hmm.
I thought I needed somebody inside, and so my head of house gets a room to themselves, and while they're working their program, and have something for other people to look forward to. And then management, I'm doing it cross states and virtually. So right now, I live in Spokane. My silver home's in Kalispell, Montana.
Okay.
And so I'm doing 2, 3 trips a week right now, back and forth.
Hmm.
And but I guess we've been having a head of house for the last 3 months
Hmm.
when my last manager walked out. And so the theory now is they never know if I'm coming or going. I'm always around. And but my head of house is like, you should see it, man. When you pull up, everybody changes.
Yeah, yeah, that happens. Definitely. So you said you did before, you've like had both. So you've had an in-house manager and then you've had an outside manager as well. You've tried both?
Right now, I'm the outside manager,
Okay.
and so um, having only one home, I'd like to open up a couple more. And I
Hmm.
think you get what you pay for. And so right now with the house, it's doing really well. Bad management, um, bad management can cost you a lot of money very quickly. I'm a privately
Yes.
owned and operated, and so we fixed that. And my plan is to open a couple more houses. I believe I have one on a master lease situation opening up here in the next couple months. It's still
Hmm.
being remodeled. But as I open up more
So,
homes, that allows me to bring in a good salary for a real manager.
hmm, yeah. So what do you think your biggest obstacles were with an in-house manager?
Um, it's either attitude or too lackadaisical. They don't want to like my best
Yes.
manager. He ran a really tight ship, but when it came to we've told the guy 6 times, well, we need to do something differently. We need to have some reprimand. We can't just always be coaching. Um,
Very true.
he didn't want to. He wasn't good at that, and that I started. I think that was part of it. I'm like, we we give you an unofficial verbal warning. We give you a verbal warning. Then we have a sit down and make sure you fully understand what's going on. And we will fine you, but all of our fines are $5 and $10. They're very punitive.
Right.
But I noticed I can tell somebody 6 times or 100 times, but I can find somebody a $5 bill once or twice and they actually hear me. So.
Totally
Um,
different story when that fine hits the
yeah,
pocketbook.
and I don't want their money. I actually try. My true purpose is to help them. That's how I got into this. The January 2020 is my rock bottom day, and so I've been just trying to give back because 6 years ago, my house was in about to be foreclosed on, had no money. Anybody that I knew would not answer the phone to me.
Yeah,
I had burned every single bridge I had and set set all the trees on fire.
yeah. That's always
So
hard to come back from.
somebody helped me save my house and get back on my feet, and so now I'm trying to do the same.
I love that. I love that you understand the business. You know, you've done it long enough now, you understand it. I am going to kind of travel back a little bit, though, to the really great manager that you had for 14 months. When he was in his position, or she, is it a men's sober living?
Yeah,
Okay,
mint.
so when he was in his position, did he create, SOPs or anything for you?
No, I spent the last year while trying to bring on new managers, getting the SOPs in place, training manuals, and that was something that was lacking.
Yeah,
And I had met um, my last two managers had very hard demeanor. Like um, my one manager, I'm like, you can't talk to people like that. Well, he's playing dumb with me. Well, you can't call him a dummy. You can't say, don't slow play me, bro. Check yourself. I mean, we have to talk to him right. And um, so coming over the top and was a big problem I had with it was either too soft or too firm.
yeah,
And is the biggest problem I've had. And so now I have SOPs, I have training manuals. Uh, they get their own workbook, and before you have any interaction, you pause, you mentally prepare, and it's an education first. We're not here to put them down. We beat ourselves up enough in our addiction and our alcoholism. We don't need anybody else putting us down. We need to find out what's going on, help them learn how to just set better habits, the importance of them, and help them grow. Um, so we'll have somebody in the office before we actually. It's not a good fit. Probably close to 50 times if they're just trying. We have we have enough rules to keep you accountable, but we give you all the rope you need if you're not serious.
yeah. Well, that's great. And like, what's your goal? Two, three, four more?
Long-term goal is 1,000 beds.
Okay, that's a
Um,
great,
and
great goal.
when I hit that, I'll want to increase it. Um, I have a I have a one home which I for my business plan I'd call it a step two. It's a level
Mhm.
two home, but I want to open up a step three. So if you have somebody in recovery, straight from treatment, and they can do a year of recovery, it takes their odds of long-term recovery from 35 to 75%. And I have a lot of guys move out on good terms at 6 months, but that's because the walls are closing in, or 8 months.
Yeah,
My longest client is right now at 18 months.
nice.
Um, but if I want a third step home where they can move into and have single room occupancy,
Mhm.
still have the structure, but
No,
they actually have a little bit of elbow room. And and then my first step home would be the ones that need more help than I'm able to provide right now. And 24-hour staffing, LACs, um, a cross between sober living and inpatient. Where they just have that extra support. Um, and additional resources for the mental health act side of it.
No.
And I'd like that on both men and women's. So, no matter where you're at, we'll take you from treatment, assistance, getting you working and on your own. And by the time you go through all three homes, if you need to, then you've saved some money, you've learned some life skills, budgeting, and so on.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like you've worked to get some of your systems in place. That's fantastic because you're going to need that. You've got to have that good foundation before you scale. So, what do you see your next steps being?
Next steps, just opening the homes. Biggest crunch there is with purchasing a home. There's some creative strategies and way to get private money. Right now, I've got three or four people wanting to either have me master lease their home, and I'm fine with a master lease, but that is a large chunk to furnish and set up the house, and there's no private money attached to any real estate there. So,
Mm,
I have opportunities for master leases, but if I got to be reality, I probably can't do them all because I got to fund them. So that's one bottleneck. Um, the other bottleneck was just I wasn't in the real estate field, and uh, as Tony Robbins says, "What business are you in? What business are you really in?" And so I've kind of taken that mentality to help. I'm in the real estate business this year, so I'm trying to spend 80% of my time in the meetups, in the rooms, making the connections, and um, putting my focus there. And that's why I'm not trying to hire a manager right now because that's okay. Now I'm going to stop for a month. I'm going to shadow you. I'm going to train you. Then I'm going to come back and help you coach you. I feels like I just did training for a year and still don't have a manager. And so,
yeah, it can be tough when you're
um,
trying to do it all on your own. It absolutely can. It definitely have
definitely,
moments of overwhelm, and you're so bogged down with the day to day that you continue to miss your next steps that you should be taking to get to where you want to go. But Jesse, I am really glad you came on tonight and shared with us. And I'm going to let you know, and everybody else who's watching, if you're not already a part of our Skool community, somebody will drop the link in there. Get in there. There's a lot of great resources and information in there. And if you have questions, because sometimes, kind of back to the reason why we do this Zoom every Thursday, we wish we would have had somebody when we just had a question, a stopping point. We needed answered. We could, get it and move on to the next thing. That would have been great. It didn't exist for us. So that's what you can use that Skool community for. Just pop a question in there. Somebody will get you an answer. So thank you for showing up tonight and for sharing with us what you're doing. And we loved to be able to just bring value to you guys. So if we can help, and I think we can, scaling is one part of what we do. Funding, it sounds like you might need a little assistance in that area. We can also help you there. So first and foremost, just get involved, get in that Skool community, and utilize the resources. And however we can help you, even on a day-to-day, just drop in questions in the chat. We'll get those questions answered for you and try to help guide you as much as we can.
definitely. And same here. Anybody has questions or what's working, what's not working. I love soundboarding.
Absolutely. I always say things are sometimes better caught than taught, right?
Funny story. Like my first agreement was size 50 font just to fill up the page, and now it's like 10 pages. And every single thing in there has somebody has taught me I had to put in there, and down to Um, there is no home-based businesses tattooing or barbering, because somebody's like, well, why can't we do tattoos? It's not in the rules.
Yeah, tenants get really creative. If your rules aren't very specific. I post about this all the time, just the funny things. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But if you're not very specific in what you do, they'll fill in the gaps. They will absolutely fill in the gaps. And it's
They will,
unbelievable with the things they come up with.
uh, yeah, I didn't know that was a rule, but they'll tell you every rule that you don't have.
Yeah, absolutely. Cody,
Well, glad to be here.
yeah, Jesse, he actually said, Cody just said, I joined a little late and missed it. Where are you investing, Jesse? You said it was in Montana, right? Kalispell?
Montana, uh, yeah, Kalispell, Missoula. I'm already set up with the recovery centers here, but I am branching out into Coeur d'Alene, and by the end of the year, I want to be in Spokane, Washington as well.
Beautiful. Cody, I don't know. No, I believe, weren't you wanting to do some sober living or one of the niches, either fit women's housing or sober living? So you guys might want to connect. Cody, just to kind of give you a little background, he's been doing this for a while, very knowledgeable in what he's doing. So that would be a great connection for you if you guys want to exchange information in the chat. That'd be a great connection for you. Or you can just find Jessie. You can find her in the Skool community. She's in the Skool community as well. So great place to get in and network and ask those questions. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Guys, I have to walk away for just 1 second. My granddaughter has to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry, but I have to walk away just 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right, appreciate that, Jesse. Now, I apologize. I did have a quick question for you. Have you thought about potentially purchasing properties and master leasing those to other operators so that you can stay out of the operator seat and more involved with the meetups and the in-house meetings and stuff like that on a couple of the properties?
I'm open to it because really it's just providing them more homes, uh, more beds. But at the same time, they add days to my recovery in my life. Like when
Right.
it's funny. Like after 6 years of being sober, I'm around my family every day. I don't notice the growth, but if I have something and come here for a week, and when I go back, I see the accelerated rate that they do give to me, and I don't want to quit being an owner. And that's at one point when I'm finally said and done, I there are plans of selling my recovery business to somebody else, and any homes that I actually own, I would be selling the business, not the homes, and converting all those into master leases. So but another thing I'm really wanting to do is get a nonprofit started, and it strictly provides grants for entry fees or rents for people struggling. Because our clients come out of treatment, they've lost everything, they have no job, they have no money, and there is some funding for them, but there's just not enough, and
Right.
um, and so trying to in-house finance people myself has been a struggle. So if there's a fund out there that can help all sober homes, and it helps the clients and the sober homes because it gets them the cash and gets the people in there. So that's my back door. Well, I'm working on to get that going, but that's me stepping back a little bit and learning about nonprofits and how to structure them, how to set them up, who's going to be on the board.
Okay, that makes sense. No, that's awesome. Sorry, it was a thought that popped into my head earlier while you were kind of explaining it, and I was just seeing like the potential to be able to partner with other individuals, because I know there's so many individuals either tapping into or some that are in sober living and have just got a couple places. Um, I know somebody out in California that actually just spent the last quarter of last year stabilizing a sober living facility, and they're doing wonders over there right now. So I think it's an amazing thing to be in.
Definitely.
Yeah. It is absolutely one of those areas, though, you have to have the right people.
Yeah.
It takes the right team to run that dream for sure.
Right. And um it helps to have them um have that background as well. Um
Yes.
because yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some normies around and they're like how like my wife um we have cameras around the outside and I was at home and just checking in on the property and this gentleman stepped outside on the front porch and took a drink out of a regular cup. And I'm like, he's drinking. And she's
Yeah.
like, what, how do you say that? He's got a cup in his hand. I said, that was a drink of relief. I mean,
Absolutely.
the shoulders dropped. I'm like, you gotta, I know that. I know that the way he drink it, but
Yeah.
she's like, I can't understand it.
Yes.
But
My husband was an alcoholic and stayed, he got sober and stayed sober for 14 years, almost 14 years, and then started drinking again. So it never goes away. And I tell people that. And kind of like what you were saying, you know the signs. You absolutely know the signs. When nobody else can tell, you can tell once you've been through that. All right.
yes,
And Darren, looks like Darren's got his hand raised. You can come off of mute, Darren. I don't know if it's the same question that's in the chat or not, so I'll let you take that for Jesse.
It is, yeah. I mean, for anyone on this chat, I just wondered who had done syndications funds, for fundraising, and if anyone's considering that. It's been in the back of my mind because
Hmm.
my day job is helping people launch funds, and so I give a lot of free advice on that, of course, but we also help people launch real estate, crypto, and whatever kind of other funds. But it
Yeah,
sounds like, for nonprofit might be the better way in this case. I don't know. But it also sounds like this is a good for-profit
yeah,
endeavor doing a good thing. And so I just wanted to throw out that as the other option, which is if you wanted to do fundraising, it might just be that you have a lot of people who recognize the cash flow potential and they can do something great. That might be a home run.
right.
absolutely. I agree with that, Darren. And just for co-living in general, not just, sober living or
In
any other
general.
beaches, just co-living in general, is really has had a successful record with fundraising like that. And Darren, you're welcome if you are doing that on a daily basis and just kind of want to share. There's probably people on this call that don't understand what that is. So if you want to kind of take a minute to educate people on how you help them do that during the day, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. So, um, when you are going out raising money, just as a premise, a lot of people take money from friends and family, and those people who are giving money are trying to make a profit, but they're being passive investors. So that's not really allowed. That's considered issuing a security. And so what you need to do is you need to have some kind of either a formal registration with the SEC, which no one wants to do unless you're Apple or IBM or something, or you have an exemption. And you guys can look into this more. We can have a deeper dive into it sometime, but there is an exemption for more private fundraising, and those are hedge funds. Some people call it syndications if you're doing a single one, but they're just hedge funds. It's an exemption called the 506 B or C exemptions. And there are certain rules depending on if you want to do it for just accredited investors or if you want a few unaccredited, meaning they have a certain amount of wealth or income. And there are certain requirements to doing it, some filings that you have to do. It all seems a little bit strange at first, but it's easy enough to walk people through how to do it. And then you can have passive investors. And in addition to having passive investors, because you're not you're not just taking on their money, you're managing the property, you're entitled to take a management fee if you want one, not management meaning property manager, but fund manager, and you're entitled to take a profit share or a performance fee, in terms of shares or dollars. And so you have different ways of monetizing this. And since the cash flow here seems to be so good, um, people will still make their money. And you basically you just there's some filings. You put out a disclosure document called a private placement memorandum that has a little bit about your strategy, who you are, some of the risks involved to look out for, how you're doing the setting up the fund, etc. And then people can subscribe, send their money, and you just for real estate, typically it's called a closed end, meaning they can't move in and out of the fund like you would a mutual fund. You would typically lock it for a certain amount of time. Let's say the fund's life is going to be 3 to 5 years or something. But at the end of that, you can always, if you're making enough money, you can always cash people out, give them their money back, and still keep the property. So it's just one of the ways that some people like to do it, and especially if you have a lot of properties, at some point you're going to run out of your own cash, unless you're going pretty slowly, and you won't be able to move at the scale at the speed you want. So some people turn to that as an option.
Yeah,
I know
and
that's a very quick
you
overview, and
didn't.
for those of you doing it, there's more involved. But
Yeah, and Darren, you didn't do any name dropping, but to really just keep it in a simple thing, people like Darren, and there are platforms out there now that, and they're very popular with co-living, because co-living, even if you buy them creatively, you still have to bring in private investor for the renovation and things like that. And those platforms are becoming very popular to raise that private capital. And they will generally do all the filings that you need. So don't get overwhelmed with the thought of you having to actually run this fund. There are platforms that will do that for you. They'll take care of all the paperwork for a percentage and just give you the ability to put your asset out there and try to pull in the investors who are interested in co-living or sober living or whatever niche you're going to get in. So it's not overwhelming. Like anybody who is interested in that, definitely reach out to Darren. He sounds like he totally understands where to go with this, but it is a very popular way to get these assets privately funded. And I do want to just touch on one other thing that Darren brought up. I thought was a very, very important point. No, baby. Thank you. I know when people hear sober living or even housing for, youth moving into adulthood or women's facilities, everybody always kind of gravitates to nonprofit. But there are a lot of veterans out there. There are a lot of now sober uh, investors, people that are looking to put their funds privately into that resonate with whatever it is that you're doing. You don't have to move nonprofit just because that seems like that's the easiest thing to do. Oh, I'm going to do sober living, so I can probably get a grant. You don't have to go that direction. There's many for-profit ways to do it with people who are going to resonate with what it is that you're doing. So I just kind of wanted to back Darren's point up there. There's no reason to always just segue right to nonprofit for these things. There's a lot of private money out there that's happy to put it in for the returns that co-living provides.
Yeah, that's one thing that's kept me in the private sector is I had one of my best success stories. He came through and just hit the ground running, and he was hitting all the marks and just blowing up by his life. And he had been with me for almost a year, and he
Mhm.
wanted to transfer down to Missoula and be close by some family. And he started calling some sober homes down there, and um, they were, either Medicaid funded or nonprofit. And they said, "Well, I'm sorry, you're too sober to come here." And it
Oh,
just blew me away. Like, if you go back to treatment for 30 days, we can get you back in. But for and I'm
wow.
like, "Are you kidding me?" And
Wow.
it's like, the system's broken in some aspects there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Well, oftentimes when you get into nonprofit funding, there's a cap. You know, they can only fund so much. There's always more need than there is money in the nonprofit world, always.
right.
So, you know, don't rule out anybody. And Chris tells a great story about raising money. You know, Chris loves to talk about this stuff. He's excited about it. He's passionate about it. And he'll talk to, you know, the cashier standing in Kroger about it if it comes up. You know, that's what he does. He loves it. But the point I want to make with that is, you know, you especially, Jesse, have an opportunity because you have an in-house manager most of the time. I don't know if you guys are doing like monthly things where their family, like a barbecue or something, where their families can come and hang out and see how they're doing and all that stuff. Those are opportunities when you bring things like that up. We're looking for funding. You know, we're wanting to open another house because those people who are watching the people they love be served and help to move on to their next step in life. You know, those are the people, if they have money, if they have, you know, retirement 401k funds, things like that, those are the people that are going to give to you out of their heart privately. Those are perfect opportunities for you to try to raise capital for your next house. So just wanted to put that out there. Sweetie, I need you to go, 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 go. Sorry, guys. She's a little antsy. She's jacked up on pineapple popsicles. But yeah, so there are all kinds of ways to raise money. And Jesse, again, just get in the Skool community, get in there, ask questions, stay active. We do have one course that's specifically for funding. We've got a Find It, Fund It, Grow It program in our coaching program. And that's what that 4 weeks of nothing but funding, different types, whether it's cash, DSCR, creative, private, you know, fundraising, all those things, they're all a part of that. So get in there, you know, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Get in there and ask those questions and we'll help to you know, get those things answered and get you to the next step. There's nothing worse than not being able to continue on your journey because you've got that one stopping point. So don't let it stop you. We're here to help.
Definitely won't.
It looks like Haley just dropped that in there. So the link for you guys, anybody who's not already in there, get in there. Darren, did you have another question or your hand up from last time? Nope, maybe he's not with
It
us.
may still be up from last time.
Yeah. Cody, those are now, there are a lot of people who do just normal workforce housing, things like that with co-living, but those people who are doing these, you know, really drilled down niches like the sober living or the women's, you know, homes or the older people homes, those are the perfect assets to build community and do those community nights. You know, whether you don't want to overdo it, I'm going to tell you now, don't overdo it. But you do want to have something that can help build community at least monthly. You know, whether like sober living, that's a great one, like once a month to do a barbecue because those guys are living without their family. And anybody who's been through an addict of any kind understands they probably burned a lot of bridges along the way. So those opportunities that they get for their family to come see, you know, how they're doing and that they're improving and they're trying to make their life better, those build community like nothing else. So definitely make sure that if you're running that type of facility that you are having some kind of at least monthly community function for that. All right. I think that's all the questions in the chat. Guys, anybody else have anything else going on? Any questions that we can help you guys get through this week?
Cody threw her hand up there. Come on down, Cody.
Come on down.
Hello, I'm trying to figure out how to turn my camera on. I'm on my phone and I don't know how to do it.
I don't feel so bad now. I'm always the one that can't find the camera on the phone.
No, I am technology like illiterate. No, I don't I guess I don't really have any like challenges, but I'm like I've narrowed it down, I think, to a couple of cities that I want to look at investing. Part of the other group I said I was in, my challenge for this week or whatever is to pick two and compare them and kind of really narrow it down to where I want to go first. And so, like I mentioned, it is going to be like starting from scratch. So I've got to get a good team in place. I've got to go through all that all over again. But just like numbers wise, between the ones that I looked at personally and from what I can see, but I don't, do this world. So I wanted your opinion on maybe a couple of like your favorite co-living spots. On my thing, let me look at my sheet. On my thing, I was really interested in Richmond, Virginia. I don't know why that one is on there, but it is. Richmond, Virginia. Then Dallas and Columbus, Ohio. Those three had like good ratio, whatever the formula was I was using on my computer. Those are the three that I had written down. But again, I need like real perspective from anybody like in the areas or on the ground. You people know more about this. So what areas, because I look at things, as a flipper. So I look at a completely different kind of market and whatever. So these are going to have to be ones that hopefully are maybe in places where there's potential for growth and for long term. And I'd like to, in 10, 20 years, hopefully have it be worth something. But also just more of like, even if buying it right now at not a great steal, but I'm making enough in cash flow, which is opposite. Because when I flip, I want dirt cheap. So it's a little hard for me to be like, what, I'm paying that much for one of these houses? But so I wanted like your opinions or the groups on maybe some places that like they invest in that they love, or somewhere you guys tried and like you hated it. And it was like, there was nobody, I don't know. Maybe are any of those cities I mentioned like
Well,
So
good?
Columbus is a pretty good market. One of the things I would recommend is reach out to a couple agents that are out there.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how many, and anybody in here that knows who George Paredes is, but I spent some time, I think it was a week and a half, to where he and I would jump on Zooms and we were calling agents out there.
Okay.
And they will give you the nitty gritty on the different
Okay.
neighborhoods out there and how the logistics work, where your median price points are going to be, what areas are going to be more open to creative, what areas aren't,
Okay.
and things like that. So on that regard, those are the notes that I'll give you for that. I apologize, Angel. You can take over.
oh, no, it's fine. The only one that I'm going to say that I can really give an opinion on right now is Richmond. Yes, that's a decent market, and I only know that because we had one in Hampton, and I was looking at surrounding areas and did a little bit of market research there. So absolutely. Personally, I stay away from Dallas. We have three assets in Texas. Dallas just wasn't
Okay.
a driver for me.
Okay.
Favorite market is Jacksonville.
Where's that?
Florida. Jacksonville, Florida is my
Yeah.
number one favorite market.
Okay, I would like
We have
that.
assets there and they're always well performing. But
Okay.
I do want to say this, Chris, because you are in the school community. This is not something that you wouldn't want to just take my word or Chris's word or Jay-Z's word or anybody's word.
Right.
It's a process, and you have
Yeah.
all the tools you need in school in the
Yep.
find it part. If you're not running things through those numbers,
Mhm.
We broke it down and gave you all the things that you just said. You're looking for stability, for growth.
Yeah.
All those things are part of that market research. And if you're not running your numbers and doing your due diligence and
Mhm.
doing it the right way, you're going to run into problems because you are looking at it like a flipper and you can't.
I
It
know.
is different.
So I
So
am doing the
yes,
steps so that I do it right
and
because it's a mind switch.
yeah, and I promise you, it's not going to take a couple of hours to get through that. You could side by side go work through three markets, and
Uh-huh.
it's going to score each one of them based on all of those parameters that you're
Okay.
wanting to know. Okay. And then the templates and everything are in there for you. Like I said, we broke it down, so it's super easy. It's not a hard thing to do. You can even get AI to assist you in a lot of it. But do it because
Do you find your jersey, buddy? Sorry, we got
yeah,
basketball
that's
practice.
okay. I
Yeah,
got you.
that's
No worries.
perfect. I just guess I wanted some reassurance. I know when the time comes, I'm going to reach out to the group and like find actual local people that are
Yeah.
either investing there or agents or management and everything. And I'll have separate conversations with them and everything. But that's kind of where I was going to. I guess I had a gut feeling that like Dallas to me, but again, I don't know because to me it looks a little not oversaturated, but almost like a little step behind where it should be, where
Yes.
I want to be kind of like getting in. I want to be like one of the
Yes.
first couple. Okay. So
Yeah.
but I'm hearing, how great it is and like the numbers, but to me, I didn't really want to go somewhere where there's like 1,000 of these
Yeah.
homes. So I just wanted reassurance kind of on that. And you kind
Yeah,
of
and
agreed with me.
we always encourage, don't just take somebody's word for something.
Right. Come on,
That's why we
Max.
give you guys those tools, and everybody's business model is going to be a little different, and it
Yeah.
works for everybody. When you do it the right way, it works for everybody. So, and if you do, when you get a moment, go in Skool and kind of scroll back. Gosh, I wish I could remember off the top of my head when we did that challenge,
Find your jersey.
but I know Benita's on this
Your
call.
jersey.
A couple of people,
Did
Benita,
it.
Chris, I can't remember the name. Anyway, they went through that entire segment, and it was amazing what they ended up coming out with. So you can kind of scroll back because everybody shared what they did during the challenge,
Yeah.
and you may have some interest in markets they already did the research on, and
Okay.
it's in there. Like the stuff is in there, what the results were. So that might help you a little bit too.
Yeah, that's perfect because I haven't went into Skool yet and dug back because I like to like
Yeah,
go back and read everybody's and like kind of catch up. And I haven't
yeah,
done that yet. Because I was going to start that next week. But that's awesome. Thank you.
yeah,
Because I think that's true that like even if I go in to say something with sober living or like single moms or even like children like in Dallas or somewhere maybe closer to the border that may have like a higher concentration of maybe not like a
yeah,
typical, but it might be better for like kids, like a lot of kids maybe that are young and like don't have
absolutely.
any parents. So that could still be an option then if I did go that
Yeah,
route. So yeah, I'm keeping that open as well. But I won't take any more time. I like to yap. Okay. I'm gonna
yeah.
go. I'm shutting my thing off. I'm still gonna listen.
Yeah, no, let me know if you need anything, okay?
Okay.
No, that was actually a great question and kind of brings you back to, guys, you hear co-living is really, there's a lot of hype about it right now. Don't just go off because somebody says Dallas is a great market. So boom, I'm going to do Dallas. You've got to do your due diligence and it's got to be based off your own business model, not somebody else's. Or you're going to find yourself um, possibly in some hot water when you do things like that. So again, that whole market research systems in Skool, it's free. Get in there, use it. It's going to save you headache and possibly thousands of dollars down the road, so you don't make mistakes. All right.
Cody, sparked a thought I've had, something thought about doing, but you can buy a tiny home very cheap, and even Home Depot has little homes that aren't
Mhm.
drywalled or furnished. But getting a piece of land and setting up mini homes for either single dads and or single moms, families that have lost everything from something to a place to rebuild,
Yeah,
because there's people without any drug or alcohol problems or mental health problems that have just had a bad turn of luck and need a helping hand as well. And so we're so focused on the ones that are obviously needing help. Sometimes those ones that they go they're invisible to us, they're just above the
absolutely.
income bracket, so they don't get the help from the agencies. And oh well, you have a job, or you don't have a drug problem, so just throwing that out there, have the wheels turn.
That is so true. There's so many overlooked groups, and men especially. There's almost something for every woman out there in whatever condition they're in. Men, that's a different story. It's a different story. And even if, they're, say, a single dad, but they don't have custody and they're paying child support, they really have no check left a lot of times. And they're still trying to live. And, they can't get food stamps because it goes off their income. And sometimes some cities, locales, I should say, include that and don't include that. But you're right. There's so many unserved, needy populations that aren't obvious. I'd love to see more help for those people as well. That would be phenomenal. Let's see, Chris said, I'm working toward a community to support people in that way. Please reach out if you're interested in being involved. I will, Chris. I love that. Chris and I always laugh because we've always said, when we make millions of dollars, we want to play Secret Santa, help people, and the people that are trying to, the people that aren't helped by anybody else, you want to help those people. All right. All right, guys, we are reaching the top of the hour. Anybody have any other questions or anything they want to share this week before we head out tonight? Yes, you're right, Pansy. We are helping someone right now. All right. Well, guys, everybody go having a wonderful rest of the week. And please remember, next week, share if you know others that are interested in co-living or they're in co-living and they're having, problems. Maybe they don't have their foundation set yet. They're struggling in their operations, any of that stuff. Share the link, get them in here so we can help as many people as we can. And again, as you run into those problems, you can always drop questions in the Skool community. If not, bring them back next Thursday and we'll see you guys then. Have a wonderful night, guys.
Great meeting you all.
Good night.
Have a wonderful night.